shelf gaming.
The only show on the internet older than the internet.
Ben, remember when we made the show before the internet existed?
Yeah, it was really hard to find a market for it.
Yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't let us play it on the big screens at Times Square. Of course, they weren't that big back in the day, about 7 inches, I think.
And that was only if you were ritzy from the upside of town.
Oh, for sure. Man, speaking of things that are 7 inches, our dicks, am I right? High five!
Hell yeah!
Oh! My arm! God, I haven't felt this alive since 35.
Oh, I haven't felt this alive since...
Oh, God! I won the bid! I made it! I knew I'd outlive you!
Eric, you see what happened to my grandpa?
I haven't seen him. You have a grandpa?
I do have a grandpa. He butt-dialed me the other day.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was fucking... And because he's new to smartphones. My grandpa's really tech-savvy, because he... Fun fact, my grandpa was one of the first... he was the founder of one of the first major American programming companies.
Hell yeah.
He launched a software called Eagle Antivirus. It's not a thing anymore, but he still uses it. He updates it for his own needs. Anyway, he's super tech savvy, but he's new to smartphones. He just got one recently, and I guess he accidentally called me the other day while he was talking to my parents about dentist stuff. Mm-hmm. And if anyone who knows me, I have a bad mouth.
True.
I got my mom's teeth, so I'm all kinds of fucked up and need all kinds of work done. Well, my grandpa's calling and he's just talking to them. And so I'm just listening to my grandpa talk to my parents, and my grandpa and my dad are talking about how their teeth are fine. And so I text my dad, I'm like, hey, can you tell grandpa that he butt-dialed me? And so they're talking to me, and he's like, how long have you been listening? I'm like, well, I thought you just called to brag about how you have better teeth than I do. Because that is 100% something my grandpa would do. My grandpa is a funny fucking guy, and he's one of my favorite people in the whole world. I love my grandpa to death. But god damn it, can he be petty as hell when he wants to. I used to go spend all my summers with my grandparents for a couple years, just because it was like a little vacation for me. It was cool, and they loved having me around. Well, you know, at that point, I'm in middle school, so I'm growing, and so I'm eating constantly. I'm like a fucking vacuum cleaner with food. And they could handle that. You know, my grandpa, they did all their shopping at Costco, so they got everything in bulk anyway. And my grandpa had me figured out. He's just get one of those giant cases of like 100 microwave burritos and one of those flat pallets of orange juice.
And he's good for a day.
And he's off to the races. Well, anyway, so basically, I'm always eating them out of the house and home. I'm eating all their fucking food constantly. Well, I had my own money at the time. I had like $20 in my wallet, and so I bought a thing of Swiss rolls, which is my favorite. They were like my favorite dessert at the time. And I hadn't eaten any yet. And my grandpa comes into the living room. I'm watching TV, and my grandpa comes into the living room with my box of sweet rolls. And my grandpa's the kind of guy who can just kind of wax familiar for like 3 hours if you fucking let him. Which is great. I love talking to my grandpa. But as he's just pulled me into this random story about his youth, he is eating my fucking Swiss rolls that I bought with my fucking money. Doesn't save me a single goddamn one. And he orchestrated that shit too. Because as he begins the story, he's eating his first package of Swiss rolls. And as the story ends, he has finished the box of Swiss rolls. And I didn't say a fucking word about it. And he didn't say a fucking word about it. Because we both knew what he was doing. And if I got mad at him, he would have just won 2 victories that day. My grandpa's the fucking best.
That's hilarious. God. Remember the good old days when we used to do that to our little brother before our parents threw us out? Just all the time. Everything he had in life that he wanted We just took it from him.
Are you telling on yourself here? Are you a bad big brother, Eric?
I don't know. I was a reasonably good big brother. No, that's Kylita's backstory.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why it's we and not I.
Okay. Well, I thought you were trying to do something where, like, you and I had a little brother, and then, like, he died in an accident or something because we were bad.
Oh, bro, it was no accident.
They can never prove otherwise, but...
Not unless I were to do something stupid, like admit to it on my Let's Play show.
I don't know. Have you admitted any crimes in a Let's Play show?
I mean, there was that time I admitted to having tried weed on my Let's Play show.
That's not a crime everywhere.
It is.
You and your fucking federal crap.
It just is, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
Listen, bro. I'll tell you that you're a fucking square, and that's why everyone thinks you're 40.
I had to break it to you, bro. People that are 40 smoke way more pot than people that are your age.
Yeah, I know. I've met my parents. Well, that's
Man.
not fair. They're cutting back and quitting now because they're taking better care of their bodies.
Well,
but
that's
for the
good.
longest time, as far as I know, my dad never stopped smoking weed. Like, my dad smoked weed all through high school, and then when they started smoking weed again when I was in high school, I thought, oh, my dad's just getting back into weed. My dad said, no, I always had weed. And he's like quizzing me. He's like, you remember the little baggie in the garage when you were like 7? And I'm like, no. Well, there was weed in there.
That's really funny.
And my mom got super into weed, and they both still associate heavily with weed. My dad works at a growery, or a weed growing place. I forget what it's called officially.
Weed farm.
Weed farm. Well, it's not a weed farm.
Weed farm.
It's not a weed farm. It's a
Welcome to Weed Farm.
It's not a weed
We
farm.
farm all the most natural, most effective weed that you can imagine.
It's not a weed farm.
If you don't get it from Weed Farm, it's not really weed.
It's not a weed farm. Anyway.
The farmingest weed that ever did farm. It's farmed by actual weed, this weed, for double the weedy goodness.
So my dad grows weed.
And we get it really high on heroin. All right, bit complete. Go on.
So my dad grows weed all day and then rolls blunts all day, and that's his job. And my mom works at a dispensary next door selling weed.
Man, obviously your dad does not watch our show.
No.
If he watched our show, do you think he would have a problem with you telling all his drug stories? Or do you think he'd find it funny? Or do you think he'd just be like,
I think it'd be like, whatever.
That's fair. I mean, based on what little I know about your dad, I agree.
He doesn't do any of it now. Like, it's all fucking ancient history, you know? Now he's not a burnt out fucking nobody. Like, no, he's a career man with 2 kids who's on the verge of retirement. Like, in a
That's
house.
fair.
They just got a new puppy. I don't think he's at a point in life where the fact that he did acid when he was a stupid teenager is gonna come back to bite him now.
I mean, fair.
I mean, he was clearly comfortable enough to tell his young son about it, so
True.
like, surely he's not that beat up about it.
Questionable decision, but at the same time, it did work.
Yeah.
Unless he was trying to make you less of a loser, then it didn't work. It did the opposite.
Yes, I don't know. My dad was trying to convince me to this day, I don't know. My dad is trying to convince me to do acid or not do acid because some of those stories really made me want to do acid.
I don't know. What do you think your parents would do if you just like today you just like called them up and was like, hey, I decided I'm gonna try acid like tomorrow.
My mom might come to Texas. My dad will be like, you're a fucking idiot, but make your mistakes. My mom might be on the next flight out.
That would be really, really funny though.
She'll call Elizabeth and tell her to not let me leave, and then she'll come to smack me herself.
That would be super funny. Have they been back since like right after y'all moved down here?
No one has come to visit us. We've gone up to visit family, but they have not come back down.
Damn.
There's just nothing really to do in where we live. So if we were gonna plan a trip, it'd be like, okay, now we're gonna meet up and then we're gonna go somewhere else.
I mean, is that not basically what you do when you go there?
Well, no, we hang out there. When they come to visit, we tried to entertain them, like go and see stuff. Well, and they also came for more like personal reasons. I don't mind getting into it, but I'll tell you in a minute. But like when we go up there, it's just me and Elizabeth resting and visiting with our family.
I mean, that's fair, I guess. Admittedly, there's not anything for you to see there. Because,
Right. We grew up
you lived there for 10,000 years.
Right. And like when they came to visit, I showed them everything that is in this town.
Right.
And in the immediate area around this town. So we've already agreed, like, okay, so next time we come visit, we're just gonna go somewhere else. But no, when my parents came to visit, like right after, it was because we were on the verge of going completely fucking destitute, and we needed my mom's help to just get financially back on track.
Yeah.
Not to like give us a handout, literally help us break down a budget.
Yeah.
Because my mom is the fucking master. You give my mom $10, she'll make that fly for a month.
Yeah, which is crazy because you were so bad with money.
I know. But now me and Elizabeth are like doing really good. We haven't been struggling at all for a while. And that's all my mommy, bro. That's all because she taught us how to do shit. And
Damn, bro.
she helped us out. The original plan was like, hey, just come and like we need help. Help us figure this out. Because at the time I wasn't working. I was really man-honing it up for a couple months there.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say is really the biggest part of your problem most of the time that you lived here was that only one of you had a job at a time most of the time.
Yeah.
A thingy!
Get it! Yeah, no, it was. You can get rid of those dandelions.
Fuck that. Yeah, fuck the
Yeah, keep the rocks because those are mats, bro. But no, it was just a bad situation. 100% on me. I don't blame Elizabeth for it at all because there's no like she fucking kept us afloat. She was a superstar. I'd get that. Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah, bro. Oh, you already sold that, so it's fine. But so what happened is when we moved, I had a job at non-denominational pharmacy.
Yeah.
And
as a professional pharmacist.
I fucking wish I would have made a whole lot more money. No, I was a cashier at the non-denominational pharmacy.
The second most prestigious position at the pharmacy.
Yeah. And things were good. And I knew that there was another branch of the non-denominational pharmacy like 5 minutes from here where we were living with Eric and Sarah at the time. So we...
Non-denominational ex-wife.
Yeah. Non-denominational ex-wife. So we were going to... So I just transferred there. And things just did not go well. I did not vibe with the people at that store. They were all fucking unprofessional assholes.
Yeah, he thought he hated working there when he lived in Washington.
No, boy, did I hate working there when I got here. I don't know, they were just all fucking bad people. I wouldn't work for them again. But it just didn't work out. Things weren't going well. I was being insulted on the daily. Because I was a fucking rock star at my old store. I was their fucking guy that they called in all the fucking time. Because I knew if they needed shit done, me. Another rant for another day, but I was the fucking guy.
He was the man.
I was the
He
man.
was the king.
I was the king.
And then he moved to Texas like a dumbass for a fucking Let's Play show. That wasn't even active at the
not
time.
exactly for the Let's Play show, but anyway. I get here and it just wasn't going well. And the final straw for me was one of the managers. I think it was the assistant manager. I fucking hated this guy. He would constantly tell me to do something, and then I would do it. And then he would tell me about how I did it wrong because he didn't tell me everything he needed. Communication was not this guy's strong suit.
Hey, I have a boss's boss that's kind of got that problem.
So, like, I fucking, this was the last straw on this day. he asked me to do something, and because we've been having this problem where he keeps telling me to do something and I do it, but then it wasn't right, I fucking triple checked with him like 14 fucking times. All I was doing was I was collapsing one section of merchandise on the shelves in an aisle, and then moving everything else down to take its place. And I double checked with that simple fucking task. I double checked on it 14 fucking times. And he said, yeah, you got it. 100%. You got it. You are going to do it correctly if you do everything you just said. And so I did everything.
Oh, God!
Cover up, you slut!
You know, I really don't like the running theme of this particular session being you calling me a slut.
Stop being slutty.
Really kind of offensive.
Stop being slutty.
Anyway, I put on my short skirt
Hell yeah.
and my tank top.
Hey,
It makes
ain't
it
nothing slutty
kind of look
about
like
that.
I got a short dress on.
Hell yeah. Super cute. Anyway.
Hell yeah.
So
If you're out there and you wear short skirts with tank tops to make them look kind of like dresses, interesting fashion choice.
Yeah.
Far be it from me to judge you as someone who wears fucking dress pants and anime t-shirts all the fucking time.
Hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do. Anyway, so I confirm this task with the fucking guy a million times, and then I do exactly as we agreed and described. Well, lo and behold, he comes back an hour later, and it's all wrong. It's all done horribly wrong. He wanted everything on, like, the very back aisle, apparently. And so I'm like, okay, I didn't fuck this up. You told me wrong. And I didn't say that. But then what he said was he looks me in the eye and says, you have a listening problem. And then that was the last fucking straw. I couldn't fucking do it anymore. I quit. No call, no show shortly thereafter.
Yeah.
It's not good to no call, no show as a general rule, but fuck that place. I hated it, so I just did it. And then the plan was, okay, since I've been fucking killing myself at this job mentally, and I just was not in a good physical or mental space, and Elizabeth had just gotten a new job that was really cushy and she liked it, for the most part. The plan was, okay, you be the provider for like a couple months while I just fucking chillax, and everything should work out because we were making about the same amount of money. I was making a little bit more, but at the time we were like, oh, it should be fine. It should all come out in the wash. Well, it didn't come out in the wash, and it got to the point where I didn't look for a job soon enough. Is the main thing. Is I even though at first I took I'm just gonna take a little break for a few months. I took that seriously. I took too long of a break before I was like, okay, now it's time to get back in the workforce. And I could not find a job for the fucking life of me. I was on Indeed every single night. I was applying to fucking everything I was even remotely qualified for. No callbacks, no nothing. It just wasn't fucking working out. And it was we were losing money. We were coming out negative basically every month. If it wasn't for the fact that we were living with Eric, who, despite everything he says, kept giving us mulligan after fucking mulligan so we could stay afloat.
Yeah, I literally don't remember that.
You did! The only reason we weren't homeless is because you continued to give us a home, despite the fact that I couldn't give you rent. But whatever, we're not arguing this here. So...
Hurry up and finish your story so we can, next time on the Shelf Gaming, I assume like 15 minutes ago.
Oh, was it? I don't fucking know.
I don't fucking know. I don't have the timer.
Oh, yeah, my phone fell when my grandpa died. Anyway.
Shit.
Oh, it's fine. We got a couple more minutes.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, that's right. I forgot about the grandpa dying thing.
Yeah.
This episode hasn't been nearly as long as I thought.
Yeah. Felt like an eon ago. Anyway, so long story short, we didn't have enough money. All of our bills were fucking killing us. And it got to the point where we just were not going to get ahead with our current budgeting strategy. Plus, we had a fucking car accident, which...
True.
Fucking kill you, Jose. Anyway. We eventually had to call in my parents and say, hey, Mom, Dad, Elizabeth and I are going to be homeless. We need help. And my mom is a fucking superstar, and she came to help us and set up a budget for us, and then... We didn't agree on this, and I still hate that she did it, but I'm super thankful she did it. They gave us like $600 as a starting point.
I mean, that is really very nice of them. I mean, you would not have been homeless.
I mean, I know, because you're fucking great. But at the same time, it was not sustainable.
They just want them. They want us to ship
No,
them.
you need those!
That's what they want. They want them shipped.
That's fair.
Yeah, because the two we already get credit for the other two, so we're good.
Okay, cool.
And we can go to the mine.
Hell yeah! But no, it was not sustainable, and I was not going to be happy with myself if I could not take care of my wife better than I was, because I was barely taking care of my wife at all.
I mean...
So, I'm very thankful that things worked out. And I got a job shortly before that, I think.
I was going to say, it was right around that same time.
It was right around, I got a job at non-denominational grocery chain as a stock boy in the freezer section. And that job also sucked, but luckily... The job I have now called me around that time and said, hey, we saw your application from a few months ago. You still want to apply? And it's like, fuck yeah, I do. Get me out of this place.
Did I not do that? Outside the mine, is that not here?
No, it's up the hill just to the left of this place.
Okay. Oh, that's where the museum is going to be if they ever implement it fully.
Yeah. But we'll be there next time!